Ladies and gentlemen, my friends and family, if family members are watching this right now, please click off this video. I currently feel very stupid. I feel like an idiot. Because with the individual that we are going to be discussing in today's video, whilst throughout the years there have been plenty of a lot of valid criticisms, I have to say, about this individual, I have always felt the belief at the back of my little brain that there were some redeemable qualities about this individual. Qualities which show that this person isn't the worst of the worst. It's just somebody doing something for attention. And whilst we could critique the moral dilemma of what he was doing and is it ethical to make these things or do these things for attention, I definitely used to think that this guy wasn't an absolutely awful human being. But now, after everything that has transpired in the last 5 months, I just can't really do that with any good conscience anymore. I cannot hold these beliefs. Oli London is now one of the most embarrassing grifters in the existence of the social media space, who is currently now one of the main leaders, if not the lead, actually not the leader. I don't think he's got the intelligence to lead something, but he's definitely one of the leaders of a massive anti-trans movement in the social media space, which is absolutely mind-blowing considering only like a year ago this individual was known for this.
I want to look like a K-pop star, and they happen to be Korean. I just find them incredibly beautiful. I actually look Korean now.
Oh yeah,
I actually look Korean.
Say like that.
And you put the Korean injection in me, I feel Korean.
I don't understand how we have gotten from here to featuring on Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan. It really is mind-blowing that these things can just transpire only in a matter of a few months. This is the man who had an obsession with a K-pop star, which led him to going over to Korea, seemingly stalking that individual, but also stealing the identities of another human being. This is absolutely wild. That he is now in a new, completely different career trajectory, garnering hundreds of thousands of followers per month. He is now selling a new book. He is garnering a massive audience and leading this awful movement. And yes, I did make a video about this 5 months ago called the Oli London Deep Dive, and in this video what I did was I went through Oli London's complete history to truly just show the right-wingers that are now clamoring to support this guy that he does not care about their beliefs. He does not care about what they say and what they do. He just wants an audience, attention, and he will do anything to get that. But that was 5 months ago. Things, as I have said, have changed. So much has transpired since my last video, which truly makes things somehow absolutely even worse. Oli London is now pretty much trying to sweep his history with K-pop under the rug and kind of present himself as this Christian conservative anti-trans individual, and whilst I don't doubt that he holds those beliefs, it's all absolutely wild to me. So welcome to the Oli London Investigation Deep Dive Part 2, where things are getting absolutely insane. But before we do any of that, I do just want to happily say that yes, this video is indeed sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what Raid Shadow Legends is genuinely one of the best mobile games out there. It's got over 700 unique champions, a super detailed and tactical RPG system, incredible graphics, and intense combinations of PvE and PvP content. And fellas, I would like you to go to the comment section and comment happy birthday down below, because it is actually Raid Shadow Legends' 4th birthday. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to celebrate their birthday by giving you guys 3 reasons to why you should click on the link in the description and get playing Raid Shadow Legends. Now, reason number 1, it's pretty simple stuff, it's pretty obvious. The game, it's free, it's completely accessible right now. You can go to the link in the description, click on it, and you can get playing this game immediately and get engrossed in this amazing world. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, all of these 3 reasons that I'm going to give you, they kind of all add up, because yeah, number 1 is free, but what's better than something being free, that then thing actually being good? And with number 2, reason number 2 is the graphics in this game are genuinely incredible. I'm honestly shocked that this thing runs on my phone and runs perfectly. Like, you have the ability to just pick up your phone wherever you want. You could be, I don't know, at a funeral, don't do. Well, maybe if you want to do that, but I wouldn't advise it. But you could be at a funeral and you can have a great time getting engrossed in the world of Raid Shadow Legends. And then that moves us swiftly into number 3, because yeah, it's free. The graphics are fantastic, but the game itself, outside of the graphics, is genuinely really good. It's got a wonderful combat system, the sheer amount of detail into the champions, the lore in the game. It's so utterly impressive. You've got access to hundreds of champions the moment you click on the link in the description, and just in general, I'm seriously impressed by everything in this game. But if that doesn't entice you enough, well, I do have to say that as well, there is an event currently going on in Raid Shadow Legends where we are going on an egg hunt. And not these things, no, throw those out. We are actually going on a dragon egg hunt in an AR event. So if you want to get involved, please go download Raid Shadow Legends using the links below, copy your in-game player ID, and then head over to egghunt.plarium.com from April the 14th to May the 15th, and then journey through the flanking portal to embark in this AR adventure. It's fun, it's great, and it's all free down below. Scour the dragons using your phone, and if you do find the hidden egg, you will have a chance to win amazing in-game items and even real-life prizes ranging from legendary raid champions to Amazon gift cards with a total of $20,000, and this is for new players only, but even current players can use this link to earn small gifts in-game. So please use my link in the description. Thank you very much to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Get hunting and enjoy the video game. Thank you so much to Raid, and now let's continue with the video. Oh, and also to make things a little bit easier for yourself, yeah, you can click on the link in the description, but also you see that thing on the top left there, that little QR code, you could just scan that and you will get a free starter pack. It includes lots of in-game loot, it's sick, and if you are a new player, please go ahead and do that. You can click on the link in the description, but, you know, save yourself some time, scan the QR code, it's blooming brilliant. Thanks. Okay, so it is finally time to get into the real meat and potatoes of this video, and that does start off with harassment. Because yes, over the last few months, Oli London has become even more increasingly known for his harassment of certain individuals out there. And before we even dive into that, I think it's important to kind of establish what harassment actually is. Because if Oli sees this video, which he has done in the past, and he has cried on Twitter like a little piss baby, if he sees this video, he's probably going to do the same and say, oh, you've been harassing me in the past, you made all these videos. So ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important to actually read you guys the definition of harassment. So according to this, harassment is subjecting somebody to unwanted conduct which is either related to relevant protected characteristics such as race or sex, or is of a sexual nature where the conduct has the purpose of affecting or violating the victim's dignity or creating the environment that is intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating, or even offensive. So when it comes to things like my videos in the past about Oli London, or even some of your tweets where you've called him a weirdo for making some of the tweets that he's made, I don't believe that to be harassment. I believe that to be fair criticism. In my videos, I'm not attacking the guy for his race. I mean, maybe I am in a way. No, I can't say that. I'm not. Let me get the words out. That sounds really dodgy. I'm not doing that. But in the past, I have been critical about this bloke pretending to be Korean. That's what I'm trying to say here. But obviously, the premise of these videos have nothing to do with his characteristics as a human being. It's more me criticizing his actions, which I have deemed as immoral. But what I would constitute as harassment is Oli London's recent activity of where he has seemingly sparked up or even just backed a campaign against a certain trans individual who recently had a Bud Light sponsorship in a TikTok which I believe didn't even last for a minute long. Actually, no, sorry, I've got to interject here and say it wasn't a TikTok. It was an Instagram story. The bloke is absolutely losing his mind over an Instagram post. It's not even a post, a story that's no longer available. And that individual being Dylan Mulvaney, an influencer on TikTok who has recently become extremely well known, sadly not for all of the best reasons, because yeah, as I said, there's been a bit of a harassment campaign against Dylan. Now, why are people attacking her? Well, it's because of this utter monstrosity. Now, a lot of people recently have been kind of pretending, I'd like to say, pretending to like this drink, Bud Light. Bud Light is one of the more terrible things the human race has ever created. It's genuinely one of the more disgusting pieces of things that we put into a can, and there are a lot of things that we've done that with, but Bud Light is one of those things where I am genuinely confused to who actually has ever drunk this. And by that I mean drunk it for pleasure, because if you do that, I can only kind of come to the conclusion that you are a macassar. I can't say the word. A macassar. I'm basically saying you love to be miserable. But yeah, recently a lot of masculine people out there who suddenly claim to love Bud Light have gotten very angry that Bud Light pretty much sponsored Dylan Mulvaney. Not even a sponsor, it was like a tiny TikTok post. It was the smallest little post ever. It was so insignificant that if these little crying piss babies on Twitter didn't kick up a massive campaign about it, you probably would have never heard about it. This has been a massive controversy involving Dylan and involving Oli London, and pretty much I think this constitutes as harassment here, because what Dylan is doing in these TikToks, she's doing nothing like harmful here. All she is doing is getting a bag, getting a nice sponsorship, quite like I have done in this YouTube video. There really should be no ethical issues here, but these people have kicked up a protest and are losing their absolute marbles. As I said before, criticism and harassment are two different things. In this video that I made 5 months ago, I'm going through the actions of Oli London and explaining why I think they're extremely contradictory, and also why I think the guy is either trolling or grifting to a certain audience. But what's happened with this Bud Light situation isn't the same as that whatsoever, and I think the way I can really show you this is by simply looking at Oli's tweets. So let's go a few months back. Let's turn it back a little bit and take a look at Oli's first tweet about the Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney situation. Budweiser have released a Dylan Mulvaney beer. Congratulate Oli. Shut up. Just stop. Look, I get you've got a grift because you desperately need to pay your rent, but just stop, mate. Your hidden deleted tweets where you supported trans rights still exist, mate. They are still there. So I'm getting ahead of myself there. Let's continue with this. They've congratulated Dylan on 365 days of being a girl. Cheers to 365 days. FYI, it's not an April Fool's joke. They actually are paying Dylan to be the new face of Bud Light. Hashtag Dylan Mulvaney. Hashtag transgender. I think if there is one thing that this tweet establishes, is that Oli London, he's a proud British geezer. You know what I mean? He loves a pint. He loves go down to the pub, get a packet of pork scratchings, maybe use some knobbly nuts, get a pint of Bud Light and just shove it down his guzzler. He loves Bud Light. He drinks it on the daily, mate. He goes to the football games. He's drinking Bud Light. He's waking up. He's drinking Bud Light. He's going to the gym. He's drinking Bud Light because he just loves it so much. And this tweet really shows it. I mean, let's just look at all the tweets that Oli London's made about Bud Light and his favourite Bud Light experiences before this tweet about Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney. How many tweets are there? Oh, there's no tweet. Okay, I'm sorry, I kind of lost my mind there, but yeah, as you can see from the advanced Twitter search right here, Oli London literally does not have a single tweet about Bud Light before this tweet involving Dylan Mulvaney and the so-called controversy, which is just absolutely insane to me, because when you go and look at the amount of tweets that he has now in the last few months made about Bud Light, you think the guy is an absolute passionate Bud Light geezer, but the reality is obviously he knew that there was a grift here. He knew that he could get attention, get traction to his Twitter account by hating on Dylan Mulvaney by using this Bud Light campaign. He knew it would spark controversy, he knew it would spark outrage, and it's very clear based on the fact that Oli London had never even acknowledged the existence of Bud Light before this whole situation. So the reason I now think this is harassment is because there is no fair criticism here. When you look at these tweets, it's just Oli London getting mad that a trans person has gained a sponsorship. They're getting a bag, they're getting payment. I mean, I don't even know if Dylan got paid by Bud Light. There's actually no, like, identification that she is being paid whatsoever. Maybe they were just gifted it. Who knows? Even if they were paid, good for them. You know, cost of living crisis is a bit of a nasty place to live in this world right now. So if Bud Light want to help out Dylan Mulvaney, let them. It doesn't matter. And if you think I'm joking about how many tweets there are when it comes to Dylan Mulvaney and Oli London, just look at this of me going through every single tweet that Oli London has made about Dylan in the last couple months. Hello everybody, welcome to another Let's Play. Today we are going to be going through Oli London's tweets, and we're going to be doing a counting game where we're going to count every single tweet that Oli London has made about Dylan Mulvaney. And fellas, this goes on for quite a while, so I understand if you want to skip it, here's the timestamp right here, because it goes on for quite a while. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, I can't remember how to count anymore, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 50, oh my god, how many are there? 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, this is going to get into 100, I'm going to lose my mind, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. We're only now getting into the Bud Light controversy. 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123. We're not even in May. 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 140. We're not even close to May. 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153. There is a timestamp right here if you want to skip. 154, 155. I think I've just missed some. 156, 157, 158, 159, 160, 161, 162, 163, 164, 165, 166, 167, 168, 169, 170, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, 179, 100. I've lost count. 180, 181, 182, 103, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190, 191, 192, 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 202. Kenji has just entered the room. Okay, we're going to have to stop counting because Kenji came in and he was scared at me shouting at this time of night, and I can't blame him. I'm scared about how many there are here. There are probably around over 300. Yeah! There's a lot of tweets. Like, a lot of tweets. And yeah, I don't think this is exactly because Oli London is a big passionate Bud Light drinker. If there is a big passionate Bud Light drinker out there, please, for the love of God, seek help. But I don't think it's because of that. I think it's mainly because Dylan Mulvaney is a bit of a massive topic in the community that Oli London currently resides in. And I think Oli London realized that he could make a lot of money profiteering off simply harassing and hating this person. Now, I will have to say for the 50th time, I don't think that criticizing somebody is harassment. But again, what Oli is doing in these tweets is harassment. I mean, I can predict that in the last day, I've not looked at Oli's Twitter, but I can predict that there will be at least one or even two tweets about Dylan Mulvaney that is on his social media right now. Let's go look. In fact, let's do a live action. Let's go. All right, Oli London TV. There we are. We've got it up. And let's scroll through. Now we've got his new book, Gender Madness. First book to make 0 sales. But then we go past that and okay, First tweet is about LGBTQ issues. Lovely. Then we go down a little bit. Okay, more tweets about LGBTQ plus issues and trans people. Then we go again. It's another tweet about trans people. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 hours ago, Dylan Mulvaney tweet right there of where he's mad at Dylan for wearing clothes. But even after that, it's not just two, it's another tweet of where he's complaining about Dylan getting a Tiffany & Co sponsor or something. He says, I wonder how much Tiffany is paying for that necklace. Why does this matter? I genuinely don't understand. This is not criticism. Again, this is just harassment. And Oli loves to mention that I'm protecting the kids. I'm doing this for the new generation. That's why I'm doing this. Then why are you attacking a 26-year-old? Dylan Mulvaney is not a child. She can do what she wants to do. It doesn't affect anybody on a day-to-day basis. There is no crime being committed here, and this is why, again, this is harassment. This isn't somebody being fair. This is actually bullying, and it is genuinely disgusting what's going on here, and we are only touching the tip of the iceberg here. And no, this isn't another 4-hour iceberg video, although the Nikocado avocado iceberg is being worked on right now. And if you are here in the year 2025, that may already be out, so just let me know down below. How is 2025? Are we all dead yet? Maybe. But seriously, just look at the state of these tweets. There is no way that Dylan Mulvaney has only one outfit. Of course not. She is promoting Burberry and clearly being paid to do so. In a recent podcast, she made sure the Burberry label was clearly visible. She has worn the same outfit at least 5 times in the last month. Where is the reason to even care about these things? Like, this is not an issue to do with politics or trans-related issues. This is the issue of you being a chronic, and I mean chronic, utter bellend. Just get a life. It's honestly pathetic. This guy is the most embarrassing grifter I've ever seen, and I cannot believe that an entire group of people in the political stratosphere right now are adopting Oli London like their former trans godson or whatever you want to call Oli London, and they're using Oli as some form of, I guess, martyr to get at trans people, which is just utterly insane. And what I find more ridiculous about this is that if there is ever a case of if somebody on their political side does something bad, they'll be sure to say, oh, we're not all like that. You can't base your opinions on one individual and use that to spread across everybody who is the same identity, race, political opinions. You can't do that. And I agree, you shouldn't do that. But then with Oli London, they love to be like, look at the state of this guy. You know, I mean, yeah, they found God, great, but look at the state of his past. Like, this is really bad for the state of the world. It's like, no, Oli London, his past being pathetic isn't because he was trans for like 4 months. That wasn't the issue. The issue was this person was stealing the identity of another human being. There was a K-pop star in Blackpink, and Oli decided to say, I am this person. Word for word, stole the name, tried to look like the person, and identity theft is not a joke.
Millions of families suffer every year.
But these people have absolutely no shame that they're just willing to add anybody to their cause. No matter how pathetic it looks, they will throw Oli London into the same side and team as them if it means that they can score a few easy cheap points. Because let's be real, looking at Oli London's new audience, where he has now garnered a new 100,000 plus followers on Twitter in the last few months, you can see that these people clearly don't know about his past. They don't know that he was somebody that went to Korea to pretty much stalk a K-pop star. He married a cardboard cutout. They don't know that he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to look Korean. They just think that this person is a former trans individual that has detransitioned and is now using that detransition as a way to get at other trans people. I genuinely believe that if you just told like a conservative that has found a newfound love in Oli London that, hey, did you know about the marriage to the cardboard cutout? I think if they heard that, they'd probably, walk away and say, that is a bit weird.
My heart is breaking right now. I just found this picture of Jimin and Jennie kissing. Like, why have I never seen this before? Like, Jimin, don't you remember we got married? Was it that long ago, oppa? Do you not remember our special wedding day in Las Vegas? Jimin 오빠, please. 보고 싶어. 보다 해. 사랑해. 미안해.
Hey, stop it!
But ladies and gentlemen, Oli London's career over the last few years, it's honestly not changed that much. Yes, the genre and topic and the level of vitriol and hatred has increased, but overall, he's pretty much doing the exact same thing that he was doing 4 years ago. Previously, Oli London was grifting in a K-pop community where he was trying to get a lot of anger so it would drive attention to his social medias, and now he's doing the exact same thing, but he's directing that anger towards an actual group of people now, and he is getting even more hatred than before, but this time he is also getting fans with that, and that is why he is now attacking people like Dylan Mulvaney. Oli London knows that Dylan Mulvaney does not affect him in any way, shape or form, but he knows that Dylan is somebody who is now a target in that certain political space, and he knows that if he grifts towards that audience, he's probably going to garner some attention and probably make some money. For example, I mentioned earlier that Oli hadn't made any tweets about Bud Light before any of this controversy with Dylan Mulvaney, but the same applies to Dylan Mulvaney. I opened up advanced Twitter search and pretty much discovered that on October the 18th, Oli made his first tweet about Dylan Mulvaney, and interestingly, 2 days later, Oli London appeared on a news network speaking about trans-related issues, and then a week later, Oli London was appearing on a Piers Morgan show. But before that interview and before that original tweet about Dylan Mulvaney and all of the controversy, quite like Bud Light, there was absolutely no tweets out there from Oli London about Dylan Mulvaney. It's almost like at one point of time last year, Oli London realized that catering to this specific group of people will definitely allow him to have a new platform and audience that can move away from this failing grift. Because let's be real, Oli, when it comes to grifting in the K-pop community, that was kind of becoming a bit boring. I stopped making videos speaking about Oli London for the most part because I thought, I mean, we've heard it a million times at this point of time. You know, it's the guy that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to look Korean. Everybody knows this. There's not really more you can say other than, yeah, this guy's a weirdo and a bit of a troll. So I think he decided in October last year to change up his ways to get hatred and attention directed towards him, and October the 18th, as you can see, he started making tweets about Dylan Mulvaney. But obviously, we spoke about this career change in my first part of the deep dive, and now in here we're clearly seeing that yes, things have only gotten a million times worse. Harassment campaigns against certain individuals are now happening, but also it's gotten worse on the fact that when we first spoke about Oli in our deep dive in the first part of this series video thing, you could see that Oli still had his tweets up about the LGBTQ+ community, and not like tweets where he was saying how bad it is, but tweets where Oli was supporting that community, putting up tweets supporting trans rights. As you can see here, it says trans lives matter, stop Asian hate, support the Asian and trans community, trans lives matter, I will be donating $1 from every purchase made on olimerch.com to the transgender community, trans rights are human rights, I love the trans community. And the reason that it's now gotten worse from the last time we made this video is Oli has now deleted every single one of those tweets. They are now all gone. In my first part, they did at least still exist. The past was still clearly visible, but now Oli has just completely removed them. And when you go and do a bit of a deeper dive into the man's social blade, you can clearly see here that every so often, Oli will just mysteriously randomly delete 1,000 tweets. Now, usually when you delete a tweet from a while ago, you may have made a silly tweet, something bad that's aged wrong. That's understandable, you know. That can't happen for everybody. People grow and change. And even when it comes to Oli changing his views, I can get why he would try and delete a few things here and there if it doesn't line up with him, but thousands upon thousands of tweets, outright deleting your past, not just saying, oh, I just don't align with that. That would be fine if you deleted it and was like, yeah, that's just not me anymore. But deleting thousands at specific moments, to me, say this is like coordinated. This only proves further that Oli London is clearly grifting, and he is hiding those tweets because he doesn't want people to think that he was even supportive of that community back then. He just wants people people to think that he's just been confused throughout his life and has never actually supported these communities, and he's only been dragged into it out of sheer confusion. Now, whilst that is only a theory of mine, I think it kind of lines up with everything that this man has said in interviews, in tweets, just in general, his new book about woke gender ideology. I think this is very much what he wants to present himself as, this person who has found God, he's now a Christian, and it's all going good, he's on a path to a better place. The place being an even bigger bellend than before. But I think the reason he's doing this is because he's trying to cater to, well, how do I say it? 40-year-old Facebook mums. You know what I mean? These people right here. This is who Oli wants to cater to. And if he still have tweets up there being like, oh yeah, trans rights are human rights, I think these people, even if the tweets were like 2 years old, would lose their and probably not buy the bloke's book anymore, or at least just like and retweet his tweets, so he removed them. And to me, this is just obviously completely disingenuous, especially when you realise that these tweets weren't that long ago. In fact, Oli London, he was trans-identifying last year. I truly don't understand how you go from this to this in terms of like a moral switch in your mind. It's honestly impossible in my opinion. It's not a build-up over time. It's not like he slowly fell down a pipeline. It's clear, as we saw on October the 18th, the bloke realized that there was a market that he could get into. It would get him on TV. I mean, a social media Twitter handle literally has TV in it. It's clear over the years this man has wanted to be in that level of media, being in these documentaries, in these news programs, in these TV shows. That is Oli London's sole goal. When he was trying to look Korean, the bloke was desperately getting on every single show that he could. The documentaries are still out there. No matter how much this guy tries to bury the past, they are still there. And even only recently, the guy went on Channel 4 identifying as transracial. This is the face. This is the face of the anti-trans movement. Are you guys f***ing serious?
Baby Mochi, Jimin, Olimin. Please don't cry, Jimin. Guys, I feel so sad. Jimin and Jungkook were crying at the end of Bang Bang Con today. Like, I hate seeing him cry. It makes me so sad.
And the thing is, when it comes to Oli, he loves to present himself as this, like, smart guy now. He's getting his little suits on. You know, he's getting his little outfits on and everything. He's got the new short haircut. He's no longer a big old K-pop. Well, I think he still is. When you look at his TikTok, which we will go into if there are any K-pop fans here, yes, we're going to speak about some K-pop in a bit. But you can see the bloke, he's clearly now trying to present himself as this smart, almost businessman. But his tweets just show the bloke's an idiot. Look at this tweet where it says, I'm a girl who gets facial hair. Dylan Mulvaney, brand ambassador for EOS. Obviously, this tweet is a dunk on Dylan Mulvaney, saying that, oh, she's saying that she's a girl, but she gets facial hair? That makes no sense. Obviously, it makes sense, but I think the problem here is Oli London doesn't understand human anatomy in general, just the human body and its functions. And that's probably because this bloke gets absolutely zero bitches, but it's also because I don't actually think he's felt the touch of another human being for a very, very long time. So Oli London isn't aware that all women, or at least most women, unless they have some condition, get facial hair. And this tweet just shows to me how utterly stupid you are. I cannot believe that this man now thinks that he is the one that should be going onto these news programs and dictating how we should take a look at gender in general. Because my friend, you don't understand just humans in general. You don't understand how the female body works. So I don't think you should be the one to be lecturing the world about gender and releasing a book which is probably going to sell, as I said, 0 copies. But when it comes to these campaigns just in general and Oli London's social media activity, it's very clear that they, as I said, like to use children as their argument. Their excuse for being absolutely disgusting to other human beings out there is, oh, we're protecting kids. Oh, we just don't want this ideology affecting kids and being taught in our classrooms. And that's hilarious to me that they say this, because even though without anything being shown to me, I know that's complete and utter bollocks, throughout the history of mankind, mind. People have used the argument of, we're just protecting the kids, as a way to stop any form of progression and equality in this world. When the LGBTQ plus community was first getting some prominence, when people were fighting for equal rights, you know, they said that, oh, we don't want the gay stuff to be involved with the kids. We want to protect the kids and stuff like that. I mean, that still happens to this day. There was a gay character in Buzz Lightyear, and I'm pretty sure the character was even an adult, but there was a gay character in the Lightyear film, and people pissed their pants like they were 4-year-olds. They pissed them so much, and it will happen, and it will continue outside of trans-related issues, because these people don't care about the kids, but they know kids are a sensitive issue, and Oli is one of them, but it's bollocks, and I will only prove that when you look at Oli's support for this certain individual here, where Oli tweets, UFC champion Jake Shields has been suspended for 7 days on Twitter after being reported by trans activists. Jake has been one of the leading voices in calling out the dangers of the trans ideology. Now, firstly, well, what was the guy banned for? Well, I believe it was this tweet where Jake tweeted, "Would you support the public executions of anybody who helps a child transition? That would include doctors, therapists, teachers, guidance counselors." Sounds like a lovely bloke. It's awful. That I think what he's saying there is, if a kid is even questioning who they are as a human being and they ask their teacher about it, they literally go up to the teacher and say, "I'm feeling a little bit weird." And the teacher, who is a teacher and is meant to be some form of guide in a kid's life in some essences, it even responds, I can't say certain things because I don't want to get demonetized, but pretty much she is saying, well, probably one of the worst tweets I've ever seen. And either way, Oli supports this guy, clearly, and it's quite odd to me that Oli is like, protect the kids, and as is Jake Shields, but when it comes to actually protecting the kids, I don't think Jake Shields has a moral ground to stand on. Because Jake was saying only so recently that an adult teacher who SA'd a child should get a raise, a financial raise for what is being said in this tweet right here. Jake Shields thinks that this person should get a raise for it, and Oli London supports this person. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, these people, they care about the children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Oli London does not care if he contradicts himself in any way, shape or form. The man is literally a living contradiction. Everything that this man does today is a contradiction of yesterday and will be a contradiction of tomorrow. This man could be in a completely different career next year, and I really wouldn't be shocked. But right now, this man is clearly willing to do absolutely anything to get attention. Even if it's to sweep things under the rug, even if it's to contradict and lie about things, the man will do anything, such as this harassment campaign of Dylan Mulvaney and also other people. They use children as a way to kind of spark outrage and justify their actions, when the reality is, in my personal opinion, they don't care about kids. They just want attention and money, and that leads us in to the next chapter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start this section off by giving you guys a little bit of a life story, because before I did this whole YouTube commentary shtick, before I was severely mentally ill, there was at one point there I actually wanted to go down either two career paths. I either wanted to be a teacher, or I wanted to be an author. But now, after a few shocking discoveries, which we're going to be going through, I no longer want to be an author. I feel like at one point of time, being an author was quite a desired thing, a respectable thing. You know, you really had to have a lot of talent. You had to really just get your head down right for years and years, and one time something might click. But now it's not like that, because Oli London is clearly showing that anybody can do this. Literally anybody. I mean, look at this tweet. It says, gender ideology is causing irreparable harm across society. How did we get to where we are now? What is behind push to transition kids? And how does social media play a role? How can we push back and save children? And once again, like he's been doing throughout this entire video, he is using children as the selling point. He is claiming to care about kids, whilst throughout this, we've mainly only covered him harassing actual grown adults, but he is doing the exact same tactic as before. Obviously, people want to protect kids, completely understandable. I think we all should protect children, and Oli obviously knows that, and as we've discussed, he will weaponize it to sell whatever story he needs to, and in this case, he needs to sell his book to make a lot of money. money. And that really does just show when you click onto his Amazon link and you see the book is $26, over $26, and even the Kindle price is just under $20. And if you are a human being that has $20 laying in your bank account and you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to spend that on Oli London's book about gender ideology, please, for the love of God, take that money and spend it on some therapy, man. Get some help, because anybody that actually reads this book, unironically or ironically, you just need to get a life. Please, let's not do our jokey reviews like we've done with Onision's books. At least there's probably something entertaining in those books. This is just going to be a complete and utter mess where some bloke just grifts to make even more money from this horrible thing that he's been doing for the last 6 months. And by 6 months, I really do mean this. This whole career path change hasn't even been going on for like a year now, but the bloke is already at the point of where he is selling a book. Now, me and you know, like we know whenever an influencer releases a book, for the most part, the book is obviously a cash grab. People know that selling books can make a lot of money, and obviously Oli saw that and he thought he can profiteer off this new audience that he's developed. I mean, I can kind of get it, like the audience that he's got is probably severely brain dead, so I mean, yeah, make a few pennies off it. That's probably going to be his mindset. But with the 6 month thing, it really does just show how much this guy is willing to just have no levels of shame whatsoever. Because when you look at the description of the book, it says this: Gender Madness gives an intimate look into what led Oli London to his identity struggles becoming a Korean woman. Now, there is an issue with this statement in the description, because Oli London is somebody that, you know, I've said it in this video, I've known about for absolutely years now. And this whole Korean woman part of his story, that only came up like halfway through last year. It's not even been, I'm pretty sure, over a year since Oli London came out as a Korean woman, but he is now trying to sell his story like everything that he has done in the last 10 years is simply so he could become a Korean woman, when you and me all know that that is complete and utter bollocks. Because yes, BTS and Jimin are a K-pop group which exist out there, and I think most people that aren't a part of Oli London's new brain-dead army know that Oli London spent years to not look like a Korean woman, but to look like Jimin from BTS. I have not made 50,000 videos about this topic to have it just retconned and changed and removed from history, but when I was looking into this book, it led me down this pathway and another iceberg of Oli London once again retconning the past and trying to hide things, because quite like how he hid his past of supporting trans rights, he is now trying to hide his past of getting surgery to look like Jimin. I never thought we would live in this timeline. It's kind of like when Marvel released this and they just kind of pretend that this doesn't exist anymore, and it's like we all know that that's there, but they're just gonna, you know, move ahead with their lives and just release 50,000 products a year and just pretend that that never happened. And that's kind of what Oli's doing now, just with the transphobic category of this retcon thing. I don't even know what we can call this, the retconification of Oli London, because that's kind of what it is.
Is there any way you could make my eyes look more like that kind of shape, like the almond
Yes,
shape?
that is doable.
One possibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you got that one there.
Oh, this is actually the guy, just so you can see the face shape. I just kind of want to look like him.
So we're gonna a little bit give you volume back on the cheek area, which is gonna a little bit help with your eye area. So it's gonna push it up a little bit.
Right, that sounds really good. Thank you, Doctor.
Good.
I don't know. I think that's a bit dodgy, mate.
The book is selling a complete and utter lie, but I don't think Oli cares about that. He knows for a fact that I know about all of his past. He knows that you guys know about the whole Jimin K-pop past, but he knows that these like 50-year-old dudes that are now reading and loving Oli London's Twitter posts, they don't know about that, and he is just so shameless that he is going to sell a book selling this lie. It literally says that this is an intimate look into him becoming a Korean woman. But what he fails to mention here, that it wasn't like Oli London was just a trans person who detransitioned. No, Oli London outright stole somebody's identity.
So I just want to come out and say that I now want to join Blackpink. I'm auditioning for YG. I'm doing a cover of How You Like That. I should totally be the 5th member of Blackpink. And my new name is Rose London. Rose is now my bias. Lisa was my bias before. Now Rose is my bias. So I want to look like her. So I've just had all my surgery to look like Rose. I still love Jimin, but I want to look like a girl, a Korean girl, just like Rose, and I want to be the 5th member of Blackpink.
Now that video is obviously very weird, and when that video came out, I think most of us knew out there that Oli London was grifting to a different crowd that he's grifting to now. He knew that if he, said that he is this other human being, this person from Blackpink, if he claimed to be that person and claimed to be using her identity as his own, that would garner a lot of attention out of outrage. Oli London is a mastermind at garnering outrage, but now he is taking this thing, which was such obviously a troll, and using that to sell a 274-page book, and people are going to pay $26 to read this absolute bollocks. It's genuinely outrageous. I almost rate the fact that he is so shameless, because I don't think a human being out there has ever displayed such a lacking of shame quite like Oli London in this situation. But people are buying it. Just look at these replies here. People genuinely believe that Oli's story over the years has seemingly entirely been about Rose London, when the reality is we know it's definitely not that. And the best part is, on the book, it says like it's his battle against woke ideology, but the woke people that Oli London is at war with right now, even back a year ago when Oli came out as Rose London, people were basically saying that it's insane to steal somebody's identity. Look at these comments right here. People were fuming at the guy. This is apparently the woke mob out there that were convincing Oli to do things like this, when the reality is, since 2018, people like myself have been coming out and saying getting surgery to look transracial, because that's what he was claiming to be on Channel 4, is absolutely mental. But hey, he is now using that story as a legitimate thing, like it wasn't a complete grift and troll to get on national television. And it's not just with this book where Oli London has been retconning his past like it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No, it's also in major news headlines, and I think now we just need to explore that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do now is go through a news headline from one of the worst news organizations of all time. Yes, Fox News. Because Fox News, they released a headline saying influencer Oli London breaks down $300,000 cost of extensive surgeries to look like a Korean woman. Yes, even in the mainstream media, these people are retconning history. It is absolutely outrageous. We all know that Oli London did not pay $300,000 to look like a Korean woman. He did that to look like Jimin from BTS. I can't believe that people are even trying to pretend that that isn't the case when the headlines are still out there, and they're only from last year. Oli London undergoes 15 procedures to look like Jimin from BTS, Dr. Phil, 2022. This wasn't even 2 years ago. This was last year. But he is so determined to sell this anti-trans storyline so he can sell his book that he is just going to pretend that these things aren't how they are actually being portrayed to be in this headline right here. He wants you to believe that the surgery that he got in the past was to transition into a transgender woman, but that isn't the case. He got this surgery to look like Jimin. I mean, in the description to Jimin's band, it literally says boy band. I don't understand how anybody can have such little amounts of shame. But when you go back to the Fox article, it says Oli, born a Caucasian male, wanted to look like a South Korean woman and underwent extensive surgeries, 32 to be exact, to accomplish his desired appearance. I started having surgeries when I lived in Korea back in 2013, he tells Fox News Digital. I was deeply unhappy with my image and used to get teased and bullied on a daily basis for the way I look. And I think this is quite hilarious because Oli only gets bullied even more nowadays for how he looks. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's something that happens. But the thing is you'd think that would have came from the right wing with how this is being portrayed. You know, he was on the woke side and he got bullied by the right into seeing the truth. But the reality is left-wing people, I feel like, are the main people out there that for years utterly just went after this guy for claiming to be things like being transracial. We all said it was absolutely mental what he was doing, but again, Oli here is kind of pretending that it was to do with, I guess, some woke agenda. He goes on to say that, you know, it was because of things like his nose, he dreamed about being beautiful and went on a never-ending journey to achieve the perfect look. And I think this is great because, as you can probably notice, there is no mention of Jimin or BTS here, when the reality is Oli has been on multiple documentaries claiming that he did this to look like Jimin from BTS.
And you put the Korean injection in me, I feel Korean, wow. Just like Jimin.
But obviously, if they were to say that in the Fox News article, it for one wouldn't suit this anti-trans thing that they've tried to got going on here, and it would just make him look absolutely mental. And in this article, they seemingly, in my opinion, make it out to seem like all the surgery that he's gotten over the last 9 years was to get this desired look of looking like a Korean woman. And I know I've been sat here screaming for like an hour straight how insane this is, but I'm just gonna pull up the facts here. Last year in May 2022, Oli came out as a Korean woman, and in November 2022, Oli then detransitioned backwards. That's around 6 months. But when you go and look at these headlines, this headline, my videos in the past, this is years upon years of this man getting surgery. This wasn't getting surgery to get his desired look of being a Korean woman. This was getting surgery to get his desired look of looking like a Korean man, Jimin from BTS. And if you went up to me in 2019 and said, Fraser, in 4 years' time, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people out there that now seemingly do not know about the Jimin K-pop story, and that's now been kind of spurred into an anti-trans storyline, I would have said that's absolutely insane. But then at the same time, to be fair, I wouldn't be that shocked, considering even back then we all knew that Oli London would do absolutely anything to get money. That's what his entire life has been about, getting a bag, earning money. And in this new career path, it's very, very clear, based on the harassment of Dylan Mulvaney, based on everything that we've gone through, the hidden past, the retcons, and it only continues with the new controversy with Mr. Beast and Oli London once again proving that he is a grifter that just wants money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with all of the money-making techniques that Oli has portrayed to us throughout this video, I feel like this is, again, I'm saying it for the millionth time, but another true representation of how a human being is doing the absolute best they can to display new lengths of how a human being can simply display the least amount of shame known to mankind. Because with Mr. Beast, there was obviously a recent controversy where Chris from Mr. Beast came out as transgender. Now, honestly, if you are a normal and good human being, you probably will think, well, why is this a controversy? And my friend, you would be absolutely correct. If you are upset about this news, if you think there is any reason that you should be outraged about this news, I honestly suggest go outside, touch some grass, and maybe interact with some real human beings. Log off social media and realize that the world doesn't center around you, and you are an absolute bellend if you actually truly do get angry about this thing. But Oli London, you know, as he does, took it upon himself to make it all about himself and basically use this story in order to garner attention, garner views, and in my opinion just garner more sales for his book, because he made a tweet about Chris which is just utterly hilarious, saying, "Sad to see you change so much. I pray one day you will wake up and realize the harm hormones do to your body, and I will pray you will find inner peace with yourself. When that time comes, I am here for you." And yeah, quite like Oli London is a massive fan of Bud Light, he also seems to be a massive fan of Chris from Mr. Beast. So let's go and do another advanced Twitter search into all of the tweets that Oli London not only made about Mr. Beast, but also Chris from Mr. Beast before this controversy. Because given that he said that he is shocked and saddened pretty much about how much Chris has changed, you'd think the bloke's been a big fan of Chris from Mr. Beast. So how many tweets are there? I'm going to allow you to go down to the comment section and comment below. 3, 2, 1, shock surprise, there are 0 tweets. He has never tweeted about Mr. Beast or Chris before this situation, but he's obviously got to pretend that, I don't know, he seems like he's trying to make it out like he knows Chris in this situation, or he's just sad as a fan, when you and me know this is, again, complete and utter bollocks, but he is trying to sell this grift to even more people, and it is genuinely so pathetic. You are utterly embarrassing. And when you scroll through the tweets that he's made about Mr. Beast and Chris since this whole controversy began, he once again uses children as a way to spark outrage, and it's just honestly disgusting to me, because it's not like he's in this case using children in general as a way to kind of spark outrage. He's using Chris's son as a way to get outrage, because what he's trying to do here is obviously present it as, oh, he's abandoning his child. I know he hasn't directly said that, but in my opinion, when you look at these tweets, it's very obvious to what Oli is doing in this situation. It's disgusting, it's grim, and it's absolutely embarrassing. But in this case, it's once again Oli London willing to do absolutely anything to garner attention and make more sales for his book. And that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day: money. Oli is going to do anything, no matter what, to sell more books and make even more money. It's honestly really hard to come to some form of conclusion in this whole situation, because what more can you say than what I've said throughout this entire video? Obviously, we all know Oli London is a troll, a grifter, and in my video 5 months ago, I genuinely thought I was a bit charitable in that video. I was open to Oli maybe seeing the errors of Oli's ways, but it's clear that he has just gone absolutely insane since I made that video, and is just going to do absolutely anything for attention, even if that means selling himself as a punching bag to that right-wing audience. That is what you are doing, Oli. He is going on Tucker Carlson, Piers Morgan, not because they care about his political opinions, his views, who he is as a human being. No, they want to point at Oli London and say, look at this weirdo. This weirdo is absolutely insane, and they're going to use that as a way to bolster this anti-trans agenda, because yes, Oli London's storyline is absolutely insane, and these people are going to weaponize it, lie about it, pretend certain things didn't happen in order to sell this story, to make money, and to just push this sickening rhetoric that is becoming increasingly and more worryingly popular throughout social media. I guess to conclude this video, I will say the whole thing does just make me incredibly sad. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I feel stupid, and I do. I feel stupid for thinking that this person could be somebody who actually does have a good part to them, does have a good side to them, is somebody that maybe isn't the worst of the worst like we have all betrayed him to be in the past, but obviously not. Obviously not, that isn't the case. And Oli London, please, if you're watching this, I know you're going to get angry, I know you're going to get mad, but maybe you should realize why people are getting mad. It's so obvious that you are just perpetuating utter bollocks, and I think you know that. And it's weird, when you go and look at Oli London's TikTok account, it's like a time capsule, because it's the only part of his social media now which hasn't really been affected by politics, and actually, it's still about K-pop. It's honestly quite sad to look at when you look at the sheer contrast between this and his other social medias, but I guess that is the sad tale of Oli London. We've always known this guy as somebody that is willing to do ridiculous things to make money, but if you said to me 4 years ago in 2019 he'd be doing things like this to make money, I would like to think that I might, you know, say, I don't know, I don't think he's that bad, but clearly, as I said, I was wrong. And I'm an idiot. But that is the ending of the video, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry if this was a bit of a more rambly video. This did have a script, but I've kind of gone off the script because topics like this genuinely are quite upsetting to speak about, given the sheer sensitive nature of it. And this is more political of a video than I would usually make. I kind of try to just stay on to like the whole YouTube stuff. I don't hide my politics. I think everybody knows that I'm a very left-wing person, but politics, it's not exactly my forte. I don't claim to be an expert, but at the end of the day, trans rights is isn't a political thing, really. Trans rights are human rights. That shouldn't be a political debate. I think that should just be something that people accept. LGBTQ plus people throughout history have been constantly oppressed, and I think this is the more recent example of it. As I said throughout this video, Oli loves to say that he's doing this to protect children, but they said the same thing about gay people in the 1980s, and they still do now, but they're now trying to mainly apply it to transgender people, and obviously that's absolutely sickening. And I hope this video, even if you disagree with me on some things throughout this, I don't really know what, I hope I've kind of spoken my points well. This is clearly the bit where it actually has no script whatsoever, because, you know, I'm speaking a bit silly right now. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Please go watch my podcast as well, Buddy's podcast. We did just do an episode speaking about this whole situation, again in an unscripted format, where me and Aiden go over the whole Oli London debacle. We speak about other things, including the royal family, the Chinese debate on TikTok. That sounds a bit dodgy. I'm talking about Chinese food. I'm not talking about Chinese people, okay? Please, let's end the video there now. Things are just getting silly. I will see you later. Go watch my podcast. It links in the description. Thank you very much. And yeah, peace out. And the next video should be out within, I don't know, the next 4 or 5 days. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Life of a true Brexit geezer.